Breaking news here at 11 o'clock. After a days-long manhunt, the suspect in the brutal attack of an elderly woman in Pahrump is finally in custody. Kim Passoff is following every development in the case. She joins us now with new details tonight.
And John, they got their man tonight. Nye County Sheriff's deputies and U.S. Marshals say that they worked relentlessly the past few days to locate this wanted fugitive, wanted for a laundry list of charges: kidnapping, attempted murder, false imprisonment, burglary, sexual assault, among other things. And earlier today, deputies got a tip that he had returned home.
Ryan Sanders' home on Oak Ridge Avenue, surrounded by a sea of officers. Detectives heard noises coming from inside and called in SWAT.
We did ultimately make entry into the residence, and he is not there.
But they did not come up empty-handed.
Within the residence, there was evidence that he has been here, and there's evidence from our crimes.
They found items belonging to the victim inside the suspect's home.
She was attacked and assaulted in her home, and ultimately was beaten and kidnapped from her home and left to die in an abandoned mobile home, and ultimately was able to escape and get to the neighbors.
This is the victim's home on Enchanted Mesa. Carrie Henry lives next door.
It's unbelievable to find out that had happened to my neighbor. Her husband had just passed away in July from cancer.
The 73-year-old woman remains in the hospital but is expected to survive. Henry describes her as a sweet older lady.
Every time we see her outside with her dogs, we'd always wave hi.
These are pictures shared by the Nye County Sheriff from the morning of the crime of Sanders and his accomplice, Richard Duncan. Duncan also now in custody.
We've had some conflict with Ryan Sanders. His son used to come here all the time, and we used to give him little jobs to do around the yard.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office, true to their word, telling Fox 5 this just hours before Sanders was found.
From everything we gather, he is still here in Pahrump, and we're going to continue to close all of his avenues of survival until he turns himself in or we catch him, one or the other.
And that indeed did happen. Nye County residents can now breathe that sigh of relief. Deputies sent us this picture tonight of Sanders captured. They did not say where he was taken into custody. Investigators say that Sanders knew a family member of the victim and the attack was some sort of revenge. John?
Kim, thanks. And Nye County also tells us Sanders' 13-year-old son has been located in good condition and is being turned over to the Division of Child and Family Services.